Hey, what up? Subscribe to my channel, it's free, bye. Level is here and I'm back to the best game ever, ESO, to give you this little build right there. So, as you saw in the title, it's a really easy build to play, and you might notice that this is our front bar and we do not have any offensive skill on there, well, except Streak if you even consider that an offensive spell. But yeah, basically we're rocking a pet, and this is our back bar. It's a fire staff, so front bar is a shock staff, and the back bar is a fire staff. This is what I've been running, and I'm just giving you guys a little bit of an idea what I run, so that you can, hopefully take some inspiration from it and make your own builds. But this has been pretty insane in PvP so far, and really easy to play as well. So here are the stats. That's the front bar, max Magicka, but on the back bar it's actually a bit higher because we're rocking shields there, and therefore we want our max Magicka to at least hit somewhere around 40k, so that we have decent shields, basically. Health is actually really nice. Stam is really nice. The stam regen is really nice, especially considering I'm a high elf, so that's even more stam regen. It just doesn't show on the tooltip here. The mag regen might... I can't speak. But anyway, the mag regen might seem low right now, although it buffs pretty high and we have some pretty decent cost reduction, so I wouldn't worry about that. Sustain is actually amazing on the Magicka side of things. The spell damage doesn't matter. It's low, but who gives a fuck? It doesn't matter on this build. Our damage doesn't scale based on that. The crit is pretty low, but doesn't matter too much, honestly. And then what do we got? We got the resistances. Let me buff that for you. So there's the resistances, 20k on the front bar. I think, yeah, it's a little bit higher on the back bar. And there's the crit resist. I don't think you want to go for any more than this these days. People are running Malakath and all that stuff, so they don't really crit. Our boon is gonna be the Achonak for a little bit of sustain. We're rocking a pet, and we're rocking Tri-Food, it would seem. But you can run the gold Tri-Food. It's actually a little bit better. I just like being cheap. So let's go over the sets real quick. I'm rocking 2-piece Infernal Maw, or Maw of the Infernal. 2-piece heavy on there, so we're rocking 5 light and 2 heavies. I'm rocking blue pieces because honestly I don't give 2 fucks about upgrading my gear. I'm just rocking this for fun, and it's actually amazing as a setup. But yeah, you'd want this to be purple. So as I was saying, 2-piece Infernal, and then here's the tricky bit, okay? We're rocking Undaunted Unweaver on the back bar. So I think I have like 2 pieces on the body. We got this chest here, these gloves, the fire staff, which happens to be powered. You might want to go infused there, and a neck. So that's 3 pieces there on the body and the neck. Then the staff is doing the 2-piece that we miss, with a flame enchant on there. Flame is probably the best enchant you could want here. Then on the front bar we're rocking a lightning staff. This is very important. You want to go lightning, you want to go Torux packed set, and you want to go infused with a shock damage glyph. This is super important. This is what makes the damage of the build. So yeah, you go with that, and the rest of the Torux packed pieces are on the body. So we got legs, boots, and a belt. So again, 5 lights, 2 heavies there. I'm rocking 6 max Magicka enchants and 1 tri-stat. Then we got 2 trainee on there. So on the jewelry, what happens is we got 2 trainee infused with reduced Magicka cost of spells. That makes up your sustain, and it's actually insane sustain. And then we got an arcane Undaunted Unweaver neck with a stamina regen to give you some extra regen. This feels really nice. I tested it some minutes ago, and The extra regen on there is just amazing. You can roll dodge so much, you can block so much. It's perfect, honestly. You're pretty much unkillable on this build. Although it might not seem like it. Now the pots, you definitely just want to use tribe pots, honestly. You don't really care about the crit, about, you know, anything else, so tribe pots. And you can use some sort of detect pot when you're facing Nightblades, that really helps. Okay. Let's go over the skills, I guess, now. So you want to set your bars exactly like mine. Well, not exactly, but you want to run the same skills at least, and I'll explain why. So streak is, you know, it's so important. It's your mobility, it's your CC. It's just so great for kiting. Elemental Drain on there is just gonna increase your damage by a fuck ton because 6k penetration is like 10% extra damage, so it's just so huge. You want that. And then you got the minor Magicka Steel, so that just gives you extra sustain. Trust me, your sustain on this is amazing despite the low recovery. Now we got Boundless Storm for the resistances. This just makes you tankier, like so much tankier. You know, just like the penetration gives you like 10% more damage, the resistance here is the same value, so it's like 10% increased tankiness. So just run this, it's so good. And the speed is really nice for moving around. Crit Surge, so this is not as much here for the spell damage as it is for the heal over time that it gives. The heal over time is just amazing, and it's gonna make you so much tankier while you're fighting. It's a great skill, just run it. And then we got the Twilight Matriarch pet. So this is for the heal. This pet, when I'm buffed, it should heal me for like 9k, yeah. On the back bar it's a little bit more, it's actually about 10k. So yeah. This is for, you know, just a big burst heal. When I've been playing this build without it, I realized I really needed this burst heal in some situations, so it's a really nice heal. And then the ult you want is absolutely the Greater Storm Atronach, because you cannot use Overload because you're gonna be spamming heavy attacks on your lightning staff, and the Atronach just comes in, it does some damage, it stuns people, and then it does pretty much the same thing you do. It's like a lightning heavy attack. So when you drop this guy, he's just gonna attack the target in the same way you do, and yeah, he just boosts your damage so much. It's really great. And in 1vx, it's like another target that you spawn that can take damage from the enemies instead of you taking all the damage. So it actually makes you tankier just running this. Now here, this is the Flame Staff bar. So we got Blockade of Fire. So the reason we run this is because, as you saw, we're rocking Taurogs, so our enchants proc more often and they have a higher value. So what we do is, by rocking this on our back bar and then swapping to the front bar, the damage that this Wall of Fire does will actually proc the enchant from your back bar. This 5k flame enchant will proc from your back bar, and it will just combine with this enchant and all of your ongoing damage, and this is just a lot of extra pressure. So when you really want to kill someone, just make sure you got this down and that they're standing in it, so they just take a nice amount of damage. Dark Conversion is pretty much a no-brainer on Sorc, but it's also there because it costs stamina and therefore procs our Undaunted Unweaver on the back bar. As you can see, the 5-piece, when you use an ability that costs stamina, you increase the damage of your light and heavy attacks by 1.6k, and this applies to every single tick of your lightning heavy attacks. So this alone just buffs your damage by a fuck ton. And yeah, it's great. Super cool. Then we got Bound Aegis. This isn't really here for the resistances, although they're great. This is here for the 8% max Magicka, which will increase the size of your shield. Hardened Ward. So, as you noticed, we're only running this shield And honestly, it's enough. You got so much defensibility. You got the resistances, the heal over time, the heal from the pet. You got this shield, and you can kite around. Heal with Dark Deal, like... You're fine, honestly. When it comes to tankiness, you don't need the other shield. Dampen Magic, you don't need it. This is honestly enough. I've been tanking people really easily with this setup. Now you need the pet again on this bar, because otherwise it's gonna unsummon. And this ult here, Barrier, is only there for the passive that it gives from Alliance War support. It's this ult, and Magicka Aid. As you can see, I forgot to actually get it. So now I have it 10% extra regen on the back bar, as you can see. We got higher regen on the back bar, and this will get significantly higher, like 40% higher when we drink a pot, so... The regens are actually super fucking high. So yeah, now I'm gonna go over the CP, and after that I'm gonna get into the basic playstyle of the build. It's really easy, guys, honestly. So you want 1 in Siphoner to prevent cleansing. You want 18 in Sprinter to reduce that cost. You want 56 in Warlord, because breaking free costs a fuck ton. You want 43 in Mooncalf, it's worth it. 56 in Arcanist. You could experience putting points in Tenacity because you're doing a fuck ton of fully charged heavy attack. But I haven't really needed it at all because my sustain is amazing, so it's up to you, honestly. I think the recovery is more worth it though in most situations. Now you got 56 in Tumbling for reducing the cost of roll dodge, because you're gonna be roll dodging a lot since you got so much stam regen. And yeah, this just adds up to your tank ability. Sometimes you want to block, so you're gonna go with 40 in Shadow Ward. You can actually do a fuck ton of blocking on this build compared to other Max Orcs build, because you just got so much stam sustain. Now on the blue tree we got 56 in Elfborn for the crit, 64 in Elemental Expert, 46 in Spell Erosion for the pen. I'm going with 73 Master at Arms for the direct damage, 31 in Staff Expert for the light and heavy attack damage. This obviously does include your fully charged lightning staff heavy attacks, so it's worth it to put points in there, just adding with the Undaunted set, nothing in this tree. And 56 into Ironclad, 28 resistant for the crit resist, 40 thick-skinned, 43 hardy, 37 elemental defender. You want to copy this basically, so you get 120, unlocking the Unchained perk. So what happens is whenever you're CC'd and you break free, your next Dark Conversion will cost nothing. So what I like to do is getting CC'd, breaking free, popping a shield real quick, and then Dark Dealing, and it won't cost anything, and it will heal me. So, and it will also proc the Undaunted Unweaver, obviously, so you can go back offensively afterwards. So that's just working really great together. And then, lastly, you want 66 in Bastion for increasing the size of your only shield to make it really big and yeah, make it protect you enough. So we got a target dummy here. What you want to do is basically keep these buffs up at all times, so the crit surge for the healing, the resistance buff obviously, and then whenever you're about to go for an offensive go, you wanna cast a Dark Conversion real quick to get the Undaunted buff from your set. You wanna keep them in a wall of fire and then just lightning heavy attack, and your Maw of the Infernal will proc, and it just does crazy damage without you really doing anything. Like, you're just putting, you know, your buffs, your debuffs on them, Wall of Flame, keeping your shields up, and then just lightning heavy attacks. And you can streak through them to stun them as well, to apply like a fuck ton of pressure. And if you really, really want to kill someone, you apply your penetration buff, you apply your Wall of Fire, your Dark Deal, and then you stun them with the Atronak, and then bam, lightning heavy attack. And this is just gonna do crazy damage. I mean, just look at this, like, this is so much pressure, honestly. So yeah, it's a great build, it's It's really easy. It's really tanky. It has it all. Honestly, it has it all. It's just great. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.